Dear Elijah and Elena, and dear fellow fathers, stop Asian hate and stop all hate. Hatred there are levels to it, right? I know what you're thinking. What in the world is he talking about? How can you have levels to hatred? But think about it for a moment, right? You can hate, let's say, certain things, maybe even certain people to a degree. So, I'll be honest, I hate vegetables. Like, I'm a grown man and I should eat much better than I do, right? So my wife is the one that does a lot of cooking. She loves vegetables. She tries to instill in the kids a healthy diet, which I try to work with them on as well. But if I'm being honest, I just hate vegetables, man. Like, if you got broccoli in front of me or a sloppy tail burger with all the fixings on it, I'm gonna go for the burger. Real talk. But the thing about that kind of hatred is not really, in a sense, it's harming me because it's not a good thing to necessarily just eat unhealthy food. We know that, right? But that's not the point of this video. The point is that what I'm saying is there are levels to hatred. Like, you can have a hatred of food and it not really be a harm to others. It can be a harm to yourself, but it's not really harming others. You can have a hatred of the things people do, the way they may live, right? So, for example, I have had people that I've honestly known, and in my own family, who were, I'm not gonna say what they were. I just say that they participated in criminal behavior, right? And I loved them, and I knew what they did. It was like everybody knew it, pretty much. But I loved them. I loved seeing them, when we would get together during holidays or what have you. However, I didn't love what they did. And so, therefore, I really didn't hang out with them outside of those holidays. So, even if they were doing something as simple as, hey, man, come over to my house. Well, you kind of have a history of doing a certain thing that I don't agree with. And I'm not sure if you have those things at your home now. So, therefore, and I don't want anybody to try to bust in getting to you and also getting me while they're trying to get to you. So I'd rather not, see you. And, we weren't that close anyway. So there's that, right? You could have a hatred of food, a hatred of something that may be a harm to you, but otherwise, it doesn't have any effect on others. Then there are, you could have a hatred, you could love someone and have a hatred of the things they do or the life they lead or a lifestyle, right? A lot of people don't talk about that. I'm not going to go really in depth, but there's a lot of things about that. So again, there are levels to it, right? There's the hatred of a thing. There's the hatred of things that people do. Maybe even the hatred of things that they may identify with. But the kind of hatred that is most damaging, I think, or one of the things that's most damaging, is literal hatred of others because of their skin color, or their religion, or sometimes even the thing that they identify as, right? You may hear my baby girl in the background bouncing around and making a little bit of noise. But that's kind of the sad thing, I think, the age we live in, the fact that we have to do hashtags where we say stuff like Black Lives Matter, Blue Lives Matter, Stop Asian Hate, Stop Black Hate, Stop White Hate, White Lives Matter. I don't know, whatever hashtag you see about that's encouraging us to not hate another group or not dismiss another group or not forget about another group's experiences or the lives they lead or whatever's going on in their day to day, especially if they're minorities. But even if they're not minorities, they might be Caucasian, right? So that's the majority of the people in Western society, or at least here in the United States. But at the same time, there are some of those folks who might be maligned as well, right? Maybe because there's a certain belief system, or they have a certain financial status, or a certain they may be blue collar as opposed to being white collar, whatever. The thing is that what's sad to me, and fathers out there, I think that's the thing we really should encourage more of our children to really think about the importance of loving one another. It's a very difficult thing. It's not an easy thing. I mean, think about it. Even in marriage, sometimes you don't always being in the most loving mood to your spouse, but you love them, right? I remember listening to Dr. Martin Luther King having a sermon once. If I find it, maybe I'll put it in the show description. But he said something to the effect of where, you're not always going to like people, but love is greater than like. And that's kind of the thing I think about hatred. That's the thing I think about. I saw the hashtag Stop Asian Hate, and it's like, my goodness, man, we have to, like, why do we have to do that? Why do we have to remind each other to stop hating another group, right? And then let's be honest with each other. Let's be real when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like, so when I've seen people talking about Stop Asian Hate, and it's real easy. I might get in trouble for this one. It's real easy to look at, quote unquote Asian hate and say, well, look at all these Caucasian people hating Asian people. They hate Asian people, but just like they hate African American people or black people, whatever word you use. They hate Hispanic people. But let's be honest. Let's be real, okay? I grew up in predominantly African American neighborhoods, and I've grown up with people and known people who've used not so nice terms when it comes to Asian people and Hispanic people and Caucasian people, okay? I've been around some Caucasian folks who said some not so nice things about the other races. I've heard certain comedians who are Asian make jokes about other races of people. So the thing is to act as if only one group has the ability to hate, that is foolishness and ignorance. And that's just real talk. Okay, I think that's kind of the sad thing about it now, is that we live in an age where it's real easy to pinpoint when others are being hateful, but it's very, very, people are dismissive when their own quote unquote kind. That's gonna be a cultural group like me, as far as like conservatives, we'll be like, oh well, these liberals over here are being hateful, and then not calling out, I'm not saying everybody, okay, it's not a blanket statement on all people or all groups or whatever specific group. I'm just saying there's too many times there can be people who will talk about one group doing wrong, but they won't call out others doing wrong. I made a video recently, I put in the show description about two wrongs don't make a right. That kind of goes along with that, right? So somebody else doing wrong, you call out their wrong, but when somebody who's on quote unquote your side of the fence is doing wrong, you won't call that out. So anyway, like I said before, you're probably hearing the bouncing ball of my beautiful daughter to the side. The thing about it is that, like I said before, my beautiful children, your beautiful children, okay, and I don't care what race they are. I don't care what color, religion, what have you. We have to do a better job as adults, as fathers, to really train up our children and realize, listen, you're going to deal and interact with people all the kind that all your life that are different from you, okay? The goal for you is how, in a Christian sense, looking at Jesus, is to love other people in spite of what they come with, race-wise, religion-wise, baggage-wise, emotion-wise, whatever. Just be loving. Like, just love into people. Yes, they're going to look like you. And let me kind of finish it like this. I'm going to probably get to about 10 minutes on this video. I've heard people sometimes talk about we shouldn't tell people to be colorblind because it's about being color conscious. I think I've done a video about that as well, and that's kind of thing I want my children to realize too. Is to be conscious of color. You can be understanding of somebody else's, them having a different skin color, because every color is beautiful, right? Even on top of that, I remember I've heard of people being like, well, I don't like when Caucasian people touch my hair and stuff like that. I'm like, here's the thing about that. I haven't really had that many Caucasian people do that now, especially since I've been an adult. But when I was a child, we all did that. Like, I went to a school that was predominantly Caucasian in a suburban area. And even when I went to a predominantly African-American school, right, as a little kid, we did the same thing. And the older I got, I went to different schools that were mixed races. We all touched each other's hair. We all, like, sometimes it was appropriate, sometimes it was inappropriate, because we just looked different. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, why is your hair nappy? Or why is your hair kinky? Or why is your hair straight? Or why is your hair curly? Like, it was innocent. as my daughter's face gets literally right in the camera. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. And like I said, this video is now getting over 10 minutes. Thank you, baby. It's getting over 10 minutes. So it's one of those things that I just wanted to, you know, for my children, like I said before, I do these videos for them. I do these videos for my fellow fathers. Now she turned on the light. And for the next generation, just to be an encouragement to realize that this. So let me just say to end it, because it's, like I said, now it's going to be about 11 minutes. I'm not dismissing when people say stop Asian hate. I'm not trying to dismiss that, you know, because I really feel like there are some people out there who've really gone through that. I remember when I was watching a video about that recently, about what an Asian man had to go through and his experiences with hatred. But the thing that I really wish we would all get on as human beings in the world, no matter what part of the country you live in. Excuse me, my love. That is, stop hatred, period. Something to think about.